Imagine a complete renovation and vertical expansion of a 120-year-old building with zero clashes, no surprises on site. Imagine doing so with the highest level of precision, quality, and sustainability. Windover's recently completed Cabot Street YMCA Housing won the 2022 Autodesk Excellence Award for transforming the construction process by using proven construction technologies from global partners, including BIM, prefabrication, laser scanning, and drone surveys to provide affordable housing in the most efficient, innovative, and sustainable ways. Today, I am honored to host Aram Arafat, Vice President of VDC and Technology, Windover Construction, and Autodesk 2019 Innovator of the Year, as he shares his knowledge, his direct application of these leading edge technologies, his enthusiasm, and genuinely inspiring personality with all of us here on Dave Cooper Live. Now, we had Amir on once before to talk about what they were going to accomplish with the use of telescoping prefab steel studs and drone surveillance. And now he's back to tell us what the team at Windover achieved. But first, we're only able to deliver these conversations of innovation thanks to our sponsor. So a big shout out to Carson Holmquist and the team at Stream Logistics. They are experts in high-stake freights, and they are the perfect choice for timelines and a specific delivery sequence, shipments with high complexity and unique constraints. The new methods of construction needs new transportation solutions, and they are up for the challenge. Go and check them out at streamlogistics.com. Also, can't move any of this around with our good friends from CombiLift, the largest global manufacturer of multi-directional forklifts and straddle carriers, a leader in long load handling solutions, offering a free warehouse and site optimization design service. CombiLifts helps companies of all sizes and from every industry maximize the capacity, safety, and efficiency of their warehouse and storage facilities. Learn more at combilift.com. And let's not forget about our robotics, Brave Control Solutions. We're offsite manufacturing systems that do more than just improve productivity. They have a unique approach to industrialized construction, a lineup of flexible automated systems specifically designed for the construction industry, empowered by CAD to Fab, and turnkey solutions for 3D volumetric assembly, structural insulated panels, finished wall assemblies, MVP component processing, assembling, kitting, and storage. Learn more at thinkbrave.com. All right, enough of that. Let's hop into it and let's bring Amir onto the show. Amir, welcome.
Hello, Dave. How are you? It's great to be back with you on the show and talk about some of the great innovations going on in the industry. And thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's an honor and a privilege to have you on the show. I have to tell everybody out there, you are an inspiration to so many people. You're so much fun to talk to. You got so much knowledge up there. Heck, and we even ran into you over in England a few weeks ago. So you've been on the show before. You've already given us your history, and we didn't have to bring your mother on to give us all the good, juicy stuff because you didn't tell us everything. But for those that have not seen you, since our show has grown so much, why don't you give us the cliff notes on Amir Rafat, and then we'll hop into your presentation. Sound good?
Of course, yeah, sounds great, Dave. My name is Amr Rafat. I lead the VDC Virtual Design Construction team at Windover Construction. Been in the industry for 21 years. Started my career as an architect working on public aquarium design with a great public aquarium architect, Peter Shermaif, and then joined the construction industry to work on some of the most innovative projects, and with a great team such as the Windover team, who is leading the way in transforming the way we build.
All right. So the aquarium part, I did not know. Come on, really? Designing aquariums? That's pretty cool stuff. You know, but just like buildings, I'm sure that has its own engineering feats that have to happen to house these, you know, amazing creatures that we have from around the world. So this is what's going to make this fun, and your forward thinking capabilities. And I think it's time we need to kind of jump into this presentation. We got presentations, we got videos. So why don't we hop into that? But first, hold on, Amir, We are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. So get your tweets on. And if you're not following Amir, you're wrong. If you're not following Windover Construction, you're wrong. So Amir, let's hop into this. Let's put the presentation up, and why don't you just start wowing us?
Thank you. So at Windover Construction, we like challenging projects. We basically build everything from institutional, academic, hospitality, hotels. What you see here up there is a beautiful hotel in Massachusetts, looking into the water. We build great restaurants, and we are the go-to for modular construction in the New England area. We like to we have built so many modular projects. What you see here below is from our project at Standish Hall at Endicott College. It's a modular project. Looks beautiful. It doesn't look like a modular at all. We have that building Canvas, which is a mixed-use, multi-family modular project, which we're going to talk about it later, which won the EEC Excellence Awards, Global one in 2019. This is Dartmouth College. We build the life science projects. As you see here, institutional sports facilities. And we like to build the great things with great people. We focus on how we can approach projects and put our clients' vision to life through great builder expertise combined with leading edge technology towards certainty of outcome, mitigating risk, and make sure what we said the design intent from the architect will be built exactly in the most efficient ways. This is 2019 and 2022. Windover won the global award in 2019, as some of you may know, about 3 years ago for Canvas project, transforming the way we approach modular construction with QA/QC using laser scanning and BIM and drones. And in 2022, we came back with a great approach to prefabrication, to laser scanning, and for historic preservation and existing building to build a beautiful, affordable housing project for a nonprofit client, for the North Shore YMCA, who is doing a great mission to support to provide affordable housing.
You know, if I may jump in, for people really understand this AEC Excellence Award is a global panel of judges. It's not just a panel of judges from a certain company or from a certain place. It's a global panel of judges, and it's an amazing an amazing opportunity, Amir, that you even were chosen for this award, let alone winning it. And I think people really need to understand how powerful that is. I think that's super cool. And I think if people aren't familiar with the Excellent Awards, the AEC Awards, you should definitely take a look at it, and you should apply, if there's a way to apply, or so they know who you are, because there's so many great people doing great things. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you so much. And this work is a result of great work between our VDC team, a great, very talented superintendents, very talented project managers at Windover. So we work collaboratively to deliver these projects in the most efficient ways. It became a mindset, and then we created an ecosystem of how we can work together to support the projects. And at the end of the day, we're going to go through different examples. It's all about mitigating risk, certainty of outcome, and building the most efficient and safe ways possible. This is a project, for example, that we worked on in 2019, which is Canvas, which is more than 350 units. It's built in modular. And one of the challenges on that project was that you have the steel podium on the first 2 floors, and above that modular construction. And as we know, that one of the most challenges in offsite construction that you have factory built components miles away from the site, while you have site built components. So we utilized the laser scanning and drone surveys, LiDAR surveys to the millimeter, to communicate in real time to the factory that's building the boxes, where all the vertical shafts for the MEBs, where the exact steel built on site. So we can do QA/QC overlays in real time and make sure that when these boxes arrive on site, All the vertical shafts for MEBs will not clash with as-built steel. This is coordinating with as-built steel, not drawing steel. With that, we're able to detect few discrepancies early on before they even become a challenge in real time, communicated. It's all about communication. And then we had all these boxes placed on site with zero clashes.
So can you go back to that previous slide, Amir? So you're saying where the steel structure is the podium, that's where it's orange at the bottom. You were able to go out there and do laser scanning of that structure to make sure it was exactly the way the structure needed to be, but you were also able to laser scan the MEPs, the plumbing, the stacks, to make sure they're exactly where they need to be. So everything, when you bring it back to the factory, lines up and they can adjust if they needed to at the factory before the modules get there?
Yeah, we scan the as-built steel on site as it's being built. And with that point cloud, which is millimeter accurate, gets overlaid in real time with floor plans that the modular fabricator is starting to put all the vertical shafts, so they can move them around, few inches there, few inches there, make any necessary adjustments to make sure that what's being built in the factory with vertical shafts will not hit the as-built steel on site. And we did this on phases. As you see here, an example of how we found the clashes. So this is a as-built steel. What you see in red is a model from the laser scans on site. So we create that, and then you see that's where the factory was trying to planning on putting their vertical shafts, and we communicate this so they can make any necessary adjustment in the factory to make sure when we place those boxes on site, it's gonna fit perfectly. Another way we utilize that to end up with a high quality facade is that we used the Autodesk Civil 3D to do that, treated the facade as if it's a topo. We did spot elevations to check the plumminess of all these different boxes after it got placed, so we can communicate that with the facade trade partner and make sure we end up with a high quality flat facade and communicate any discrepancies early on as we are in construction.
Wow. So, all right, I have so many questions with the facade as well. So you were able to scan it once it was in place. So if we're building with wood, is this wood construction on the top floors, correct?
Yes.
Right. Wood's not perfectly straight, and we all know that. You're able to get exact pinpoints away. Maybe the crown went one way here or one way there. That way, for the exterior cladding, whomever you're working with on the facade is able to take that information, bring it into their modeling system, and make adjustments based on what's existing in real time?
Exactly. What's being built on site in real time to mitigate risk and making sure we preserve the design intent and end up with a high quality product facade. This is a new innovative use of how we utilize existing technologies and offerings that we can utilize with a little bit of creativity to resolve issues and provide innovative solution. And that we work closely with our great superintendents on the site to communicate these messages and work with that in real time. So the whole goal is technology at Wendover is to mitigate risk, making sure there are no surprises on site, basically.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And this is a beautiful canvas project, building E and building B. After years of applying leading edge technology in our projects and with the success we have and the great relationships we build with our clients, most of our projects are repeat clients with great, we are very proud that we built in the last 20 years, more than 12 projects at Endicott College. We are very proud to work with one of our great clients, Endicott College. And this trust comes with constantly delivering what we promise we're gonna do, high quality. So this all comes with, as I said, combination between in-house building expertise with leading edge technology. And then we get requests from so many peers in the industry, engineers, architects. How about you help us early on in the process before even the project goes to construction, or before even Wendover getting involved to build the project, early on in the planning, how you can help us with this leading edge technology. So Wendover decided to 2 years ago to launch that innovative platform idea, which stands for Innovations for Design, Engineering, and Automation, to utilize and extend these leading edge capabilities to the whole industry, to the whole nationwide, 4D planning, digital prefabrication, mixed reality, laser scanning, and so on. So right now we're working on projects in the New England area, in Pennsylvania, in Texas, and in California, helping engineers and architects to document buildings very well with laser scanning, with existing buildings, very accurate drone surveys, 3D BIM coordination. This is just one of some of the very many examples we have. Beautiful projects around the US. We did all the BIM coordination for it and the as-built documentation. So with that, we are able to extend and really transform the industry, not only in the construction phase, but also as early as the development and the planning process, where all the decisions being made early. So we can really support the clients and our peers with this leading edge technology Wendover has.
So this technology that you're using, or the suite of products within your ecosystem that you're using, can be used on new projects and existing projects. So you can apply the same concepts to both?
Absolutely. And the beauty of this, that Wendover is capable in all of these services and can use them combined together to provide innovative solutions. So some projects, we tailor this to the project. Some projects will benefit from 4D planning. It's not about the size of the project today. It's we've been working on $80 million projects, and a $6 million renovation can benefit from this through laser scanning of projects. So
right.
All projects, all sizes can benefit from these innovative solutions. Yeah, so.
That's great. That's great. You want me to pull up that video?
Yeah. So
you ready for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
There it is.
So one of the main things we focused on at Wendover is how we extend, how innovation is becoming, how Wendover adopted a mindset of innovative solutions across the board, including our superintendents, our project managers, our estimators. Everybody in the company is thinking in an innovative way, and the main goal is to provide projects in the most high quality and the efficiency. So in this example, which recently won the 2022 Accelerating Transformation Award, a global award, more than 300 projects from around the globe, and they got selected to be as a prime example of how we can utilize technology across the life cycle of the project with the ecosystem we created. So we can support the projects very efficiently. Mm-hmm. As you see here, this project is a 120-year-old building for the YMCA. We needed to do an addition and affordable housing within that building. So what we did is that it's a very challenging project. Our team had all of problem-solving solutions to work with that project. We had to demo the first floor, the roof completely. We had to work on a very challenging new steel, how to make sure those new steel elements will fit perfectly with the existing steel. So as you see here, this is all the new steel will come here. So we utilize the laser scanning, but that during construction. Early on in the process, as it's becoming a standard for our Wendover projects, we do a 4D planning to communicate how we're going to approach the project and tell the story of how we're going to build it with logistics, not only to communicate it with the client or the city officials to get permits, but also to for safety planning, as well as communicate with our trade partners. And that all help with safety planning. So as you see here, we need to work. One of the very challenging parts of that project that we worked on, part of it when the spaces were occupied. So you can imagine all the challenges and how Wendover team successfully was able to work around, because we've been working around those very tight logistics elements and make sure we can be as the most safe and the first, and also in the most efficient way as possible. As you see here, the new steel elements, how are we going to make sure that this new steel will fit perfectly with the existing conditions? So that's in the early planning. Then we laser scanned, utilized our laser scanning capabilities, which goes to the every 70 meter, only 3 millimeter off. and our drone LiDAR technology. So we were able to capture during construction all the existing to remain structures and walls after demo. So that's another way of how we laser scanned it to document existing conditions early on to support as a design team for documentation and to enhance the drawings, but also during demo, during construction, work closely with our superintendents to schedule those laser scans. So we make sure we capture the existing structure to remain, and with real-time QA/QC overlays, we're able to communicate the exact measurements of this new steel, so we can communicate it with our steel trade partners. That's during construction. With that, we're able to make sure that all the new structural elements will fit perfectly on site. Another innovative solution we used on that project, it was the first project to apply a pioneering technology from Howick, our great partners and friends from New Zealand. We utilized the telescopic technology from Howick to build the telescopic studs for that project. As I mentioned before, this is an existing building that has very tight corridors and elevators, and we found no better way is to apply, as you see here, this is the first project to apply this. It's being made in the factory. In that case, it's the Autodesk Technology Center in Boston. Wendover is a resident there since 2019, working on so many projects, innovative, learning and exploring new ways to transform the industry. And that's where we met with Howick. As you see here, it goes, the telescopic stud, travel compact, and when it goes through tight elevators, tight corridors, and when it goes to its intended location, assembly or installation location, it can expand and adapt with any geometry, as you see here. We are working on projects right now to support other firms to do this on more on other challenging projects. And so that was a part of applying prefabrication through our partnership and collaboration between us, Autodesk, and Autodesk Technology Center in Boston, which is, I consider, a hub for innovation. And we've been working on so many great projects there, including automation and additive manufacturing for historic facade elements in one of our historic preservation projects. We also collaborate with, I'm going to mention the mixed reality part, with Howick, which is, I think, a great leader in manufacturing. So you see this, Dave, this is the only way we can really transform the industry, in my opinion, is through this cross industry collaboration. You see a manufacturer who build great machines in New Zealand, and Autodesk Technology Center in Boston, and Wendover, an innovative company that expert in building, come together to provide solution to provide this affordable housing. One of the elements we used to. So this collaboration, global ones, can really move our industry forward. Another way we used technology is through Autodesk Takeoff. How we can take off all the different our great estimating team has implemented and doing a great job utilizing Autodesk Takeoff, which is saving time in quantity takeoff and supporting accurate estimates. At the end of the project, we handed with we also deliver in-wall scans as well as tandem documentation to support the future facility maintenance.
So in-wall scans, you mean behind the sheetrock, so everybody knows where everything is for documentation for tomorrow or 10 years down the road?
Absolutely. So before closing up ceilings and walls, it's a standard now at Wendover, is that we schedule this in-wall scans, which is documenting as-built MEPs behind the wall. So 10 years from now, to your point, we can know what's behind ceiling and walls in each room, which our clients find very useful. What we're actually doing right now with our collaboration with Autodesk and partnering with them into implementing tandem, which is also implementing. We end up with the project with information-rich coordination models. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're pushing this data to support our facility managers, our clients' facility managers, so it can support their future CMMS system and their future planning, to put this data at their fingertips with manufacturing information all in the model. And we are excited about this collaboration, and we are working on it on a few projects right now, academic projects.
Well, I think, and I see we have another looks like video getting ready to show here in a second, but I think the takeaway that I'm getting from all of this, Amir, is you have all this different technology, right? You got BIM, you got 3D modeling, 4D modeling, you got drones collecting data on the exterior of a building and the interior. This technology exists, but you have found a way to bring all of this existing technology and get it to actually work in sync together to provide, the solutions that you're providing. And I think that's kind of been the golden ticket. The technology's out there. How do we make it work for the construction industry? And it's looking to me, that you're doing that already. I mean, why laser scan the inside of a building unless you got a telescopic scud that you can just put up there? Because we know an existing building isn't perfectly level and square and all of those things. Just that alone is groundbreaking, and Howick is a sponsor of ours. And this is why. Like, to me, why would you use any other machine? I mean, that's cool stuff.
Absolutely. We also did another project that we're gonna mention now, is how we use the Howick machine technology at the Autodesk Technology Center, and how we do roof trusses as well in a very record time. It increased efficiency on the job site, and one of the main reasons, to your point, we have all these different capabilities, and how we use it in harmony to provide. It's all about innovative solutions. It's all about problem solving. That's our mindset at Wendover, and it's also really because of the culture we have at Wendover, which is embracing technology. When we come up with these great innovative solutions with new technologies that we're going to start for the very first time on a project, we sit down with our great builders, supers, project managers, and we think about, okay, we have that challenge. Do you have a solution for it? And then we combine all these different capabilities to provide the solution. So it takes the whole team to embrace the technology, to your point, and that's what makes it a success of reaching a very forefront technology. That's why we are always constantly evolving and creating this new latest and greatest technology. In 2019, when we won the first award, it was a very different project type technologies than what we're doing in 2022. And the reason for that is that we learn something new every 6 months, and it's constantly evolving, also with the collaborations with our great partners like Autodesk, like Howick, as well as Hologram, which we've been using Hologram Twin Build. This is an example of that, mixed reality. So we talked about how our estimating team is embracing technology, how we use laser scans on site. We also use Twin Build, which is another fellow resident at Autodesk Technology Center in Boston. They are based in Australia. And we've been utilizing their Twin Build Hologram technology on many of our projects. That's a custom home. We built beautiful custom homes. This is a custom home in one of our projects in New England. And as you see here, with this Twin Build technology, we're able to review the project on site, overlaying the 3D models of the design and the coordination on site to detect any discrepancies in real time. And what makes this very special, Dave, is the accuracy of it. It goes to 1/8 of an inch accuracy. And the reason for that is that you see these codes on the walls. Yeah. We put multiple of them, and then we are able to, in our Autodesk, in our Microsoft HoloLens, we're able to, our superintendent, our client, our trade partners, walk into the site and view the future pieces of the buildings that will get developed versus what was developed on site already. And that helped us with MEP, complex MEP coordination processes, viewing millwork. We did that at our project at Belmont Hill School. This is all the MEB's elements and how we are able to use that 1/8 of an inch accuracy using those different codes of Twin Build to view the mechanical system as we see here.
So 1/8 of an inch of accuracy. So there's that. And then on that previous basement we were in, what was built above that? There was just the floor built, and you were visually seeing how everything was, to include looking out the window?
Yes, so because the power of this versus the VR, we do also all VR tours. We just did.
Yeah.
We help our great clients with VR events, helping donor events, and as well as visualizing. We at the one of the projects at the Fuller site in the Cape Ann YMCA. Most of the materials were selected in VR because our VDC team created a very detailed 3D Max model with the materials so that we sit with the client and they select all the different materials in an immersive experience. And that all goes to a higher satisfaction of the client with the material and the built project because you have seen it in VR first before it gets built. So selecting material in VR and managing change is a part of what we do also at Wendover. But the power of this mixed reality is that you go to the actual site and we are overlaying the coordination models, the mill work, the kitchens. We actually just did it for our project at Endicott College, the Health and Science Building.
Okay.
Recently to help it's a nursing school, and you help it our team to check the reach, facilities management team to check the reach of how basically managing how the design will be, so they can make any tweaks before we start putting all the elements there. So there are so many ways to mitigate risk, and it's all towards a more better satisfaction for the client when the building is there because you have seen it in VR. We built it virtually first.
So can I ask you, what are you wearing on site when you're looking at this?
It's this one, the HoloLens, Microsoft HoloLens.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Microsoft HoloLens is that what we use on site, as well as other headsets that can be used. We use this one we've been using with Twin Belt, our fellow residents at Autodesk. And we upload all the different models to this, whether it's the coordination, MEB, Navisworks models, whether it's the design models to help visualize. We use it externally too, exterior, interior. It's been helpful. Clients, trade partners, and our great supers who embrace this technology to instead the time that you look at drawings and 2D drawings is still there, but this is actually because at the end of the day you're building a 3D building in reality. So why don't you build a 3D building from 3D data? So this helped a lot with visualizing, which is very key, the fully trade coordinated drawings or the MEB models over the actual site, which has been very helpful.
I would imagine it's very helpful. You know, a lot of the trades out in the field are super visual people, right? And I don't have your video playing right now. And I think that's super important to be able to point out, right? Because with trade labor becoming as difficult as it is, and the lack of skilled labor that's out there, for somebody that's on site, maybe a new person not used to being on the jobs, and we're always looking for new people out there, this helps them not only look at plans, but visually see exactly what's supposed to happen in that space. And then that means anybody can correct an error.
Absolutely. And actually, you're bringing up a great point, Dave, about the shortage in skilled labor. One of the ways we overcome that challenge is also using things like the additive manufacturing. We've been working on a historic facade that's a 100-year-old facade, and how we can create the exact replicas of these facade elements using additive manufacturing. We did that at Autodesk Technology Center with big 3D printers using a digital prefabrication modeling from the laser scans that's representing millimeter of what was there on the facade. So that's one other way of things that done beautifully by hand 100 years ago, how we can create exact replica of that to preserve historic projects and support historic projects.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, I see you have another video loaded. Let me put it up on screen here for you.
Sure.
All right.
So this project was also at North Shore. It's a 13-acre site. It's got multifamily, it's got retail, as well as a beautiful Cape Ann YMCA project. And we needed to create roof trusses for this project. 975 roof truss. Each one is made out of 8 pieces. So we did that at the Autodesk Technology Center in Boston with all the different technologies, and we were able to create 975 trusses only in 15 hours using the HOIC technology as well with 3D modeling. And then we took that, the reason I'm bringing this up, we took that a step forward using the hologram technology to help guide the assembly of these trusses. So for years, we've been using mixed reality to visualize how projects will look like, but also we put this to support our field team to guide assembly and put pieces together.
So the Howick machine, so everybody understands, I mean, it prints it out exactly the width, size, and with the holes of all of this to be put together and assembled. So there's no way of making a mistake. And it's with such precision, I think, is what people need to really understand with that. So it can take a very complex situation and simplify it in the field.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Dave. The most, what we at Wendover is doing is actually making sure that not only our processes are accurate or using the right softwares and the right process, but also the equipment. We evaluate each new technology and make sure, because accuracy is key with our laser scanning, with our BIM modeling, because there's so many decisions that gets built upon these first initials. That's why our most important thing is accuracy and quality in the models we create. That's why all these partners coming from and friends coming from around the US for us to build their models and laser scan the existing buildings, because it's a big responsibility, and we're going to make sure that they get the most accurate data. For the Howick machines, I can think of a more green, sustainable way of cutting these, because it's really help with reducing any material waste. So we've been, and it saves a lot of time. And you and I been to the London event for Howick and seen all the different innovations and how this can really transform with this prefabrication technology. And not only with that, combine that what Wendover is doing, combine it with the different technologies. So we end up with a full life cycle of our project, how we can offer clients substantial cost and time savings.
Yeah, for sure. And combining it with all the other technologies and collaborating, I think, is the biggest, point of this conversation, bringing the teams together. And we're going to get into that in a minute as well, because I have a lot of questions on where this goes from, your innovative mind and the intellectual side of how this, should work, all the way through putting it into the system, drawing it, manufacturing all the parts and pieces, and then the trade labor in the end. I mean, how does all of that, seamlessly or streamline together to one? Because it has to work from this side all the way to this side for it to be successful. So I'm excited to hear about that as well. And I also want to point out there, this is not a paid for promotional sponsored Howick conversation here. And it's just really great technology. And I keep seeing it popping up everywhere. So I'm super excited that you're working with them as well.
Absolutely. This is really the purpose of our discussion, is to let folks know what's possible to advance our industry. It's there's so many possibilities that we push our industry forward. For example, that project that's providing affordable housing, that's part of our mission, is to work on projects that really make a difference for our communities as well as our industry. Our industry can really have a big chance of progressing using not only the different technologies, but the key is combining it with the building expertise, as we said, the ecosystem. So the project life cycle starts with our very early planning of the project. We evaluate the project, see what the challenges. It's all tech first solutions based to resolve the challenges. So we look at the challenges, if there are any, then we evaluate what different technology can help at each phase. And that comes with, for example, that project that won the Global EEC award in 2022 had this existing building conditions. And usually existing buildings are very challenging compared to a very new build, because you have all these constraints and surprises that's in a very old building that you not necessarily, it's unforeseen conditions, and some surprises will come after even demo. So what we've been doing is that we have this capabilities and technologies working a long way in each phase to offer a solution to make sure that our team working on the ground with all the data they need to make sure we're building the most safe. As I said, this building at the beginning was occupied. We want to make sure we plan it very safely and deliver high quality project. all the way until we deliver the project to the client and they have a history documentation, not only that they have passed of the 2D as-built drawings, they have a documentation of how we exactly built their buildings. Even on modular projects, because we build a lot of modular for great clients, we also, if we can't document that on site because it's being built in the factory, we still document how each room or each box were made for volumetric modular, were made in the factory, and we provide the client with that history. It's all about the data and how we can utilize this data in a meaningful and easy, straightforward way. So clients, because clients are not as good as we are in visualizing what's in 3D and 2D and what's in 2D and 3D. So we really need to have, you don't need to be experts in specific software to read the data and benefit from it 10 years from now. And that's what we do. We make straightforward package to deliver to the client to make sure they have all the data they need to support their future facility maintenance.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're joining us, we are going to get to some questions and comments here in just a moment. So hang tight and we will answer them. There is a few that I think will be very pertinent and kind of fun to discuss on the show here. So Amir, I know you have a couple slides left in that deck. If you want to go back to that and we can just close that out. And then I want to get into really talking about the collaboration, not only with the partners such as, Autodesk and BIM and all this, but I also want to talk about the trade partners and how all of that comes together, because this just doesn't just come together and you sit down at the end and say, this is what we're doing. They're part of this as well throughout the cycle of the design and manufacturing, correct?
Absolutely. And as you see here, the main goal for our use of technology and the ecosystem we created at Wendover for using innovative technology is through the whole team, how we can embrace the technology to build these buildings. Like, for example, that Dartmouth project, Dartmouth College, beautiful project here, had terracotta details, had glass facade details, very challenging, very beautiful, and the complex coordination to get all these different elements and leading items. We created a detailed virtual mock-up for it, so we can decide what the leading, how we put the different pieces together.
Yep.
So for every project you see here on the screen, whether it's a restaurant, it's a sports facility, it's a life science project, we've been offering these solutions combined with the builder expertise. We got some of the best in the industry builders who know how these pieces get together, and we empower them with this technology across each phase to deliver a successful project.
I didn't think offsite solutions such as modular and panelized were allowed to look good.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. Yeah, the Standish Hall is one of my favorite modular projects. Standish Hall at Endicott College. One of we're proud that we work with such a great client and bring their vision to life always.
So as you're going through this process, let's talk about the trades, right? Let's talk about the life cycle. So we talked about the partner side of this. How important during the design process of this and the BIM modeling and the drone data, how important are the MEP trades? How important are the framers? How important are the plumbers when you're going through this process to make sure you're not missing anything or they see something different?
You are bringing up a great point, Dave. We don't even wait until that part in so many ways, and so many times we get involved early for every constructability review in the model. In one of the projects we discovered, we work with the engineer models. If there is no models, we help make them exactly as the PDF drawings or the set of drawings we have at each phase, because the earlier we get involved and do constructability review in the models, the earlier we can unlock and they see different challenges early on before we even get to the trade partner or the MEP BIM coordination. Wendover has an optimized MEP BIM coordination process. We work closely, our VDC team, our MEP manager, in-house expertise. We work together with our trade partners to make sure we detect any conflicts and reach a zero clash model before fabrication. So that makes sure that all the MEP elements will fit perfectly on site. So there is a part of every constructability review in BIM, which is very key, with the engineers and the architect assisting the architect with detecting conflicts. We combine that again with laser scanning of the site, so the architect can make informed decisions and the engineer early on if it's an existing building. We also do, we just have a beautiful, big multi-family, a big project on, I think, more than 20-acre site. And we did with our drone LiDAR survey the site, and that end up with a detailed 3D model of the site. And then we can do all these overlays of the design models and make sure we can do cut and fill analysis to support our estimating team to get an accurate estimate of the cut and fill, especially on a big site like that. There's so many potential to provide value and save cost and time for projects, no matter what the size is and at each phase.
In the value of the trades and how all this comes together. And there was a comment on, like landscaping and all that we'll get to a question, but it's a win for everybody, especially on large, complicated projects. If the trades don't have to do change orders, that means they don't have to put out their schedules further because something didn't work on site. Like, it allows everybody to be more efficient. It allows everybody to stay on budget, and it allows everybody to be more profitable because they're having less time waste trying to figure things out that aren't working. And at the end, the very end of all of this, the most important part of the entire project is the happiness of the stakeholders with the project and the time that it took to do it. And I think, would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Schedule is a big component for that. Our MEP BIM coordination process can really help mitigate, and we do it in a very, like, for example, we've been building a beautiful life science project, Triton, in New England area. And what we did is that we had a client who was moving his equipment, a great company, great client of ours, moving their old equipments to a new space, a life science. What we did is that we scanned the old equipment in that space and scanned the new space and made sure we assist the architect with the planning of putting all these pieces together. That helped also support the schedule. So there are no delays. There are no surprises when they put this equipment into the new area. Also, during MEP BIM coordination, complex one, especially with labs or with school facilities or theater, acoustics, all this, we do laser scanning in real time during construction and do QAQC overlay with the model, what's built versus the design model, to make sure we detect any discrepancies and communicate it in real time. So,
right.
And that's a part of the MEP BIM coordination we do on as a standard on most of our projects. So it all help with schedule, making sure we preserve the schedule, if not sometimes even streamline the schedule. That Canvas project, when they were able to shed time from the schedule with mitigating risk and making sure that everything will fit perfectly on site.
For sure. All right, let's get to a couple comments here and questions. We're getting tight on time, so I just want to make sure we give a few shout outs. Michael Bruce, sounds like good discussion today, Dave. Now, you guys should know each other because Michael is big into laser scanning. He used to do all the big utility companies, like the infrastructures where you walk on site. So I bet you two could share a thing or two there. Oh, look at this guy, Christoph Thros. Hello, Dave and Amir. Greetings from Barcelona. Wasn't he just here in the States?
Yeah. Hi, Christoph. How are you?
Tell you what, like, you got to give him a Dos Equis. He's one of the most interesting men in the world, it looks like. I love it. I love it. Okay, so Michael Bruce does say laser scanning again, Dave. Congrats to Amir on his Autodesk Award. Great achievement. I agreed with you forever on that one. Robert Sorensen says expandable with stair method similar. He's talking about expandable stairs, I guess the width, right? Similar to what the Howick machine has been doing, which is great. We got Buzz Holwitzer out there, collaboration for the win. You're absolutely right. We got Gregory Laha out there. Hello, Dave. Been listening. Good subject. Let's get down here. Tom Reddy says, great to hear the collaboration and technology at work. Question, how or what methods are you using to introduce these technologies and advanced collaboration processes to GCs, developers, and building owners to help them move from the traditional building methods to this process?
That's a great, you bring up a great point, a great question. Our main method is to use it on the project to provide solutions. So it's always, as long as the technology is solution-based to provide the solution, that's when the success happens. And it doesn't have to start in a big project. You can start on a smaller project, provide the value, show the client how this been helping, whether it's creating exact replica for a historic facade elements while saving cost and creating high quality product. So there are the main way is that we actually don't look at technology as a theory, but we apply it on real project, real schedule, and we challenge ourselves with this challenge the technology itself to provide a solution and provide value for each project. And we have seen in the recent years clients ask for it and very excited about applying all these different technologies, whether it's at the beginning of the project with augmented reality or the BIM coordination, or towards the end when we provide a great package of to support the future facility maintenance. Our facility manager for our clients have been loving this. So there's so many ways. It's all about how the client, to your point, Dave, it's all about the client satisfaction and the quality we provide.
That's right. That's right. All right, Tom, thank you for that question. White and Sunny out. You already just answered one of their questions, but they had another one here. You answered the one about landscaping, how you can use the data for cut and fill and do the same thing to know exactly what you're doing. But his other question is, can future ordering flow be controlled by progress analysis?
Can you please elaborate more on that? Elaborate more on the question?
Yeah, White and Sunny, elaborate a little bit more on that. I have another question, or it looks like Dion Anderson. Oh, this is Howick, the man from Howick. Great accent, by the way. I'm going to work on my New Zealand accent one of these days. Hi from New Zealand, Dave and Amir. Great session and topic today. Look forward to seeing more innovative projects from Wendover using Howick's technology in the near future. Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be a lot of fun to see that. All right. Amir, let's as we're seeing if White and Sunny from YouTube there come back to us. I want to kind of put a bow on what I've learned today and make sure that I'm not missing something here. So at Wendover, you guys have collaborated with, BIM professionals, prefabrication professionals, laser professionals, drone professionals, obviously, and then offsite solution systems such as modular and panel. But what you've done is you brought all those people into a room, put them together, and found out very specific ways to make a seamless integration of all of these products. So you can come up with an end-to-end solution that works not only in the front office, but in the back offices and in the field and in the factory as well. And that has, from my understanding, not really been done anywhere else. And when you put it all together, it saves time, it saves safety, cuts down on hazards and safety issues, cuts down on ordering too much stuff, and obviously makes a better and safer work environment and hopefully a more profitable business for everybody.
Absolutely.
Did I miss anything?
Absolutely. Well said, Dave. Our goal, we actually built this in-house VDC team, virtual design construction team, professionals who can do all what you mentioned, the laser scanning, the drone surveys, and the best quality, and combine all these things to provide innovative solutions. And actually, the culture at Wendover is what helping us be very unique and very successful. And that is the culture at Wendover on how we embrace technology in the field, in the project management side, as well as the technology side and the leadership. So it's all about embracing the technology, break the status quo in a meaningful way that provide solutions for the client and provide quality built environment, as well as our mission, like this example for the affordable housing. We always like to work and partner with clients who really provide value to change our world for the better.
Yeah, you know what? And that's it. We have to think differently. Think of it this way. What we're doing is not working. So if you look at it that way, the youth are running away in droves. We got homeless people all over the streets, all around the country, because affordable housing is not so affordable. And if we don't start thinking differently, like you guys are doing at Wendover, the cycle just continues and it gets worse for everybody. So I like what you said earlier in the show, and that's the ecosystem. You're building an ecosystem of a process to bring all the stakeholders together for success, period. Whether it's on your team for customers, consumers, or if you guys are going to work with somebody else, the collaboration is key here. And I think everybody out there, and we talk about it all the time on the show, it's amazing what happens when you put people in a room around a table that are on a project and you have a conversation, because you'll be very surprised what you learn. And that goes all the way down to the person that's, sweeping up the nails and the fiber. I mean, it's just the way it is. So, Aramar, I got a comment back on White and Sunny there. White and Sunny out. He says, can ordering be done automatically from the current situation? And his name is Andrew Wacker in sunny Sweden. Great show and guest. Well, thank you for joining us from Sweden, Andrew, and thanks for watching the show.
Thank you so much. From what I understand from the is ordering like leading long lead items or for projects. So what we've been doing, utilizing additive manufacturing or digital prefab with our collaboration at Autodesk Technology Center, for example, is that we don't wait for elements to be fabricated far away and wait for the shipment. Yeah. We actually utilize this BIM data and our prefabrication capabilities with collaborations such as with Autodesk Tech Center and with Howick, is that we can make the things whether very close to the site with the data we have, because combining manufacturing and industrialize the construction techniques with the BIM data can really transform our industry and move it forward, because you end up with BIM data, and if you have this capability of fabrication, can really preserve design intent and create very high quality products, whether it's for historic restoration or for a new build.
I absolutely love it. So, Amir, what did we not talk about? What have I forgot to ask you, or maybe I just don't know enough to ask you? Is there anything that you want to leave us with today?
No, I want to ask you.
You want to ask me
a question? Yeah, I would love to ask you. I've been watching your show, and I love the way you pursue innovation and all these nice meetings with thought leadership. What is the most what is how you get your passion towards pushing the industry forward and helping people learn about what is possible to advance our industry?
I've heard in my career as a modular builder, and panelized builder, that's what I did for 20 years prior to doing what we're doing now. I've heard one too many times, that's how we've always done it. And I was having conversations with people like yourself, years and years ago, and I'm watching people do these amazing things. And I said to myself, why can't we do that in our industry? Why are we not doing that in their industry? And every time I tried to move forward with something, I got kicked in the back end. That's not going to work. We've tried that. And, funny enough, we just kept pursuing it. And really that's where my passion comes from. It's exciting. It's fun. It's the only industry that hasn't had any big change in it. When you think about it, we have better windows and we got better machines, but as a whole, we don't have a better system, right? Exactly. You have a better system now, but as a whole, when we look at the industry and the technology, there's all these amazing things happening around us. And people wonder why the youth's not coming back into construction, because we're not using those amazing things in our industry until now. And people like you are here saying, wait, there is a better way and we can use all this. You can wear your virtual goggles that you play Fortnite with. You can do XYZ, right? And I think that's where my passion comes from. I think we can do it better. And if we could see more houses being built affordably, sustainably, and with healthier, aspects to them, then I think everybody always says, what do you want your legacy to be? And I was like, well, change. Why can't we help drive change in the industry that we love?
Totally,
and I think that's where it comes from.
Absolutely, totally agree with you. And you bring up a great point about the sustainability part of it. We got to start now working on our processes, because construction can really help with the global effort of reducing CO2 emissions.
Right.
And that's what we've been doing on many of our projects, how we use this technology to build in the most efficient and sustainable ways to save on material waste, as well as building more green passive house buildings with great clients. So thank you, and thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, everybody, that is a wrap for today. So Amir, thank you so much for joining us. We will be live this Wednesday, but I will be in New York City. I'm going to the NAB show. So if you're in New York City and you'd like to connect, just let me know. Maybe we'll be time to have some lunch or do something there. But join us Wednesday for a product spotlight. I'm Dave Cooper. Amir, thank you so much for joining us today. Don't go anywhere. I'll come back to you after the outro. And the rest of you, enjoy your week, man. It's Monday. That means you can do something great. Why wait for hump day? Monday is the great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.